We can do this. How's it going, beautiful people of the Instagram? Welcome today. This is Jose Trujillo. I'm the world's greatest living artist. I'm in the art studio. And today's Takeaway Friday. Okay, so it's Friday. It's Friday. Take it away, baby. Takeaway Friday. Take away. So today I get to talk to you guys about my takeaways. What are the things I've learned? What are the things that throughout the week, right? Throughout the week, there's different things happening. There's different stuff happening in my life. I'm a married dude. I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a brother. And member of the community. Online and offline, and on and on and on and on, right? Small business owner, and all these things, right? Have something. When you do life, all these things have they're not separated. It's all together, right? It's all together. There's different things happening, but it's all together. So, anyways, I want to give you 3 of my tips, right? My takeaways, things that I believe that have significantly helped me, and what I got out of the week, right? Because man, it's been a rough week. Some weeks are rougher than others. Got my Starbucks. I'm super ready. I'm pumped up, and here we go. All right. Well, here we go. I got three takeaways, and I'm gonna start sharing them with you right now. The first one, okay. Simplicity. Apply simplicity. Apply simplicity every chance you got. Make it simple. Make it easy. Okay? Make it easy. Because things are already sort of challenging. Right? And if you make them simple, if you simplify them, you're able to execute them in a quicker, way. And the more you execute them, right, the better you get. The more frequent you get, as I explained in other videos. So simplicity is genius. That's my first takeaway. Now, what do I say this? Because man, when I was working this week, I have this certain little things that happen to me, and this has happened to me throughout my career, where I get what it's called peaks and valleys, and this is both monetarily and income-wise, right? And it's emotional. So I believe they're linked. They're together. Like if my emotions are my income is right? If my emotions are like yay, my income is yay. So I've linked them. I've understood that they're together. So what triggers them? What I believe that triggers them is that I'm not making things simple. I'm not just going for it, right? I'm trying to work something out. Every time I get to start working something out, I'm like, oh, let me figure that out. Oh yeah. And then you try to get smart about it, right? Try to get there's certainly room for that, but it's very minimal. It's very minimal. I for me anyways, I've learned that dude, just make it simple. It's fine, Don't overcomplicate it. Just make it simple. So that's my first takeaway. Simplicity is genius. Simplicity is genius. I'm gonna write a book about simplicity. I swear, promise. I'm just saying it right here. It's gonna be one of those audiobooks that I'm working on, because I'm working on a handful of those audiobooks, and I'm gonna write about this, because simplicity is you have an advantage if you're a simple-minded person. I mean, look at the movie Forrest Gump. That's really what it's teaching. He doesn't really think much of himself. He doesn't think much of anything. Like, not in the sense that he thinks less. He just doesn't think much, right? He's not interested in overcomplicating anything. There's a lot of people out there, I know because I've been like that, who think that they're smart, right? And overcomplicate things. There's a lot of people out there who think they're smart. Here, artist 10. How's it going? There's a lot of people that think they're smart, and that I don't know. It's just it's a complication. It's complicated. It doesn't. You don't have to be that smart. You don't have to be that smart. How's it going, peeps? Good to see you guys. I'm thrilled that you guys are joining me for this Takeaway Friday. It's a Friday at noon. Every Friday at noon, I do takeaways. So that's my first one. Simplicity. There is genius in simplicity. Remember that, guys. There's genius in simplicity. Every time you're like, oh, I don't know, dude, it's okay. Dude, be like that philosopher. He was a genius, right? Who was it? Socrates? Oh, I get confused. I don't know if it was Socrates or Plato. But these dudes, they probably both said the same thing. Only one got the quote, right? Someone wrote the quote. Or whatever, right? But they're probably the same way, both of them. They started out by saying, I don't know, right? All I know is that I don't know. And it's not playing dumb. It's not, it's not like trying to be humble. No. It's true. It's being truly humble. It's being like, if I start from a place that I don't know, then maybe the answer from all the knowledge that I have, from all the extensive knowledge, maybe it'll spring out of there, right? It'll spring out of there. So simplicity is genius. Simplicity equals genius, okay? My second takeaway, man, the first one really is, all of them, you guys are going to see right now. These are some kick-ass takeaways. The second takeaway is activities. Activities with an S at the end. A lot of people ask me about making a living as an artist, getting your work out there, getting your name out there, whatever you're trying to do, because there's different ways of doing it, and there's different things that people are trying to do, right? Even if the goal is common, like I want success as an artist, but what is it, right? How much you want to make, what galleries you want to be in, and on what sort of impact you want to have in the marketplace, and on and on and on. When people talk to me about this kind of things, they usually go and tell me, dude, Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, dude. Oh, awesome one. Awesome one. I love that. What is the one thing that got you there? What is the one thing that got you to make a full-time living? Or what is the one thing that got you to get art shows or this or that? And my response is always the same one, dude. It's not one thing. It's many things. So activities, guys. If your day is not filled with activities, for example, here's one of the reasons why so many people have a hard time being in the solopreneur area or doing how's it going? Brushstroke. Hi. Cool. Yeah. Howard Schultz, dude, if you ever see this, give me some love. There's a reason why people have such a hard time, right? Getting into the market, selling their work, blah 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 blah, right? Getting anything done. Why people have such a hard time is because they're doing usually one activity. This is a huge problem. How's it going, Sean? I just talked to Sean earlier. Sean's a cool guy, cool dude. I always want to do this. Yeah. It's because you're doing one activity. That's really the problem. So my takeaway this week, because I have to remind myself, I do this too. Come on. I'm not like sitting on a tower and being like, you're not doing it right. I go through this. I'm always effing up. Like I'm supposed to be doing something and I'm like, oh man, I forgot about that. Artist says, I'm sorry to disturb again, but can you please take a look at my work and my profile? Totally. I'll take a look at it. Thank you. Sean says, I'm a cool dude. You're a cool dude too. And so you're usually doing one activity only. For example, if you're like, man, my artwork, I have a hard time getting into the galleries. I have a hard time, blah, 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 selling my work. And so my question is like, how many things do you do, right, in the day that are pushing you towards your goal? They're like, well, I painted today. Okay, cool. That's a great advancement. What else? Well, my work took me so long, blah, blah, blah. Dude, no, it doesn't matter if you take a year to make a painting. You got to stick in there something else. A little marketing. A little, I'm going to pick up the phone. A little, I'm going to go visit that gallery. A little, I don't know, Facebook, some ads, something else. But the more you stick in there, right, the better it's going to be for you. So it's not activity, it's activities, many activities. And those of you who don't know, again, I'm just gonna put in my little what do you call this? My little plug. I'm doing coaching one-on-one, little consulting. It's just a side gig right now because a lot of people have been asking me. I make my income from painting, not from coaching. So those of you who are interested, DM me. And I'm doing 15 free minutes right now just to kind of get a feel if you are going to find some value out of it or not. And then I'll talk to you guys about it later. Anyways. Please take a look at my artwork. Totally. Masa brushstroke. Totally. I'll take a look at the work. I'd like to know your opinion. All right. Cool. I'm sure you're doing something great. Already. Most artists are doing something cool. So here we go. The second one is activities. Okay, activities. You have to have more than one activity. Number third takeaway is you got to do it now. Whatever you're gonna do, you got to do it now. You can't let it sit there. Now I talked about this in a video earlier. You got to be the first. First bird gets the worm. First bird gets the worm. Yeah, first bird gets the worm. That's how it is. Man, this isn't good in the middle of the day. Yeah. So whatever you guys decide on, let's say that you're like, man, I want to do that painting. Don't sit on it, please. Like, this is something that has cost me so much, and if you're not able to see how much it costs you. And I'm not just talking about income or whatever, leaving money on the table or all that kind of other stuff. The time, the energy, you don't really realize until you're actually playing the game. Let's say you're an entrepreneur or you're just someone with an art career, whatever, whatever it is, whatever your gig is, you start realizing how much. The longer you're in the game, you start realizing how much it costs you to not jump on things. Like, do it now. Like Nike says, do it, just do it. They're saying just do it now. They just didn't put that word because it's too long, right? Just do it now. So it's like, just do it. Three little words, right? The little phrase. Just do it. Just do it means, this is what just do it means, okay? Do it right now. Like now, not... I can't stress the importance of this. This is what will make you or break you in your career. It's not your ability to come up with great ideas, great tactics, become tactical, become strategic, how smart you are. Oh man, I found a thing on Facebook ads. Look, this is how you do it. It's like super cool. I'm like, no, it's not it. Even if it works, when that runs its course, because everything runs its course. When that runs its course, if you don't have the muscle to just do it now, it's going to be difficult. Again, it's going to be like, oh man, what do I do? What do I do again? Because it's a muscle. It's a muscle. Again, it's that muscle that you have to just jump, and where do I live? I live in the U.S. I live in Arizona. I'm where the heat is hot. Where the heat is hot. Yeah, it's super hot here. Not right now though, but right now it's perfect. Just the weather is really nice right now, I think. Just about anywhere. Unless you guys live in like places where it's like blizzard right now. Snowing and whatnot. So again, takeaway Friday, guys, 3 things. Simplicity equals genius, okay? Be simple, guys. Be simple. Create your work in a simple way. Yeah, absolutely. Create work in a simple way. Don't rely on one activity, okay? It's not all marketing and it's not all painting, okay? It's all of it, and you have to integrate it. And that takes courage, and it takes muscle. It takes a lot of muscle. It takes a lot of training. And then another thing that takes training, all of them take training. You're not just, most people just don't get it like that. It's going to take a little bit of training. Do it now. Simplicity equals genius. Don't rely on one activity. Do multiple activities and do it now. Whatever you have to do, jump on it. Like grab it by the horns and get it done right now. Because otherwise, you're gonna talk about for the rest of your life that you want to be an artist. It's 30 years are gonna go by and you'll be like, oh man, I want the stuff that I'm doing right now, guys. It's not something that just occurred to me, in the past couple of years. The stuff that I'm doing right now is stuff that I thought about 10, 15 years ago. Probably more. Stuff that I talked about, that I thought about, that I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to do this. It took me years to be like, oh, it'd be cool to get on YouTube. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, YouTube seems like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then another year went by and I was like, oh yeah, YouTube, that thing. I remember thinking about YouTube. And on and on and on. So the problem is not that we're lazy, guys. The problem is not that we're lazy or we don't have the right strategies or tactics or whatever. The problem is that we don't have that muscle built. It's a muscle. It's a muscle, and it takes some cojones to build it because it's consistency. But the muscle to do things right now, like, oh man, I gotta call this person, boom, right now. It's superior. It's superior strength, and it's an athlete's way of looking at the world. Now, I ain't no athlete, but I'm an art athlete, and it's something. Again, it's my takeaways, right? It's something that I know that if I don't do, it just everything is lost. Okay, everything is lost. Like I can get away with a few activities a day. I can get away with making things a little bit more complicated than they're supposed to be. But if I'm missing the third one, okay, if I'm missing not jumping on it now, like jump right now, everything is lost. Like nothing makes any sense. So again, these are the 3 takeaways of my Takeaway Friday. Okay, simplicity equals genius. This is what I believe. I believe that based on my week, the simpler things are, the smarter you seem to be. The reason why is because you don't put much thought into it. You're like, oh, okay, that needs to be done. Okay, let's take care of it, and then you figure it out on the way, right? Just about every person that I've met that is doing anything that are moving and shaking, or entrepreneurs that I met that are heavy hitters, multiple 7 figures. These people they don't think about things. They're like, oh, that needs to happen. Oh, okay. And it's not because they have the resources to take care of it. It's because it's a muscle. I've understood that it's a muscle, that they just do stuff. They're just like, oh, okay. I need to do like I've been sitting on a podcast for the past, I think, 2 months now. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the podcast. Yeah. And then something else comes up. And I'm like, oh man, I'm running out of time. I need to do the podcast, right? This is a perfect example because I thought about doing a podcast for the past 2 months. My sin is that if I don't act now, I can sit on it for 2 years, right? And I think that I'm not alone in this world when it comes to that. So the problem is it's not apathy. The problem is not laziness. The problem is that it's a muscle. You have to just jump, just jump on it. So again, simplicity equals genius. Hey, Stebonix says, Mark Zuckerberg wears gray shirts and jeans every day. Simplicity. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All these guys, man, all these guys that are heavy hitters. Elon Musk, Elon Musk, if you talk to him, it feels, I don't know, I'm just assuming, right? It seems from the personality of the guy that he's not trying to impress anybody. He's not trying to complicate anything. He seems like just extremely simple people, extremely simple. Warren Buffett is another one. And I'm not talking about like people that are not in art, but they are in art. It's like the same thing. Everything's an art. Don't spend time thinking about the BS. Exactly. That's what gets us. That's really what gets us. It's like, oh, I got to do this. And okay, well, here, how do I get it so that I'm not wasting my time? Dude, no, you're wasting your time when you start thinking about it. That's when you're wasting your time. Viviana Pacheco Fine Art. I was able to read it. Viviana Pacheco Fine Art says the KISS concept to get things done. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. So simplicity equals genius. If I see someone, well, they're talking about myself, right? But if I see someone being like, yeah, man, I'm going to get this done, blah, blah, and they start talking about process, it's a red flag for me. Yeah, it's a red flag for me. It's like, no, dude, this person's not gonna get it done. I know because I've been there, and I'm still there from time to time, right? I'm like, no, it's just not happening. Sometimes I'll be planning something with, like an art show or something with someone, and they're like, yeah, okay, that sounded great. Let me get back to you 2 weeks, okay? And blah blah. I'm like, dude, why does it have to take 2 weeks? Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go concoct something like right now? What can we do right now? Like, let's come up with something. We'll figure out later. Right, we need to fly to this city to figure out this art exhibit. Dude, book the flight right now. Who cares? Who cares? Just book it right now, because the more time you add to the equation, right? This is a principle in everything, guys. This is a principle not just in art. This is a principle in sales too. You add time to the equation, you will lose it. You will lose it. The likelihood of that sale happening just drops the more time you add to it. This is something that I've learned in marketing, selling, and closing my artwork to collectors. The likelihood of it happening just decreases tremendously. You can't add time. So simplicity equals genius. Cut the process. The second one is activities. You want to have activities. There's no one activity, guys. If you have one activity, for example, again, sometimes artists contact me and they're like, I want to be able to create some extra income creating artwork. What can I do? And on, right? How's it going, Galama? And my first question is like, all right, cool. Like, what's your objective? Well, this is my objective. Okay, cool. What are you doing right now, right, to get you there? Well, I'm painting. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Now, please, guys, bear with me here. I'm not standing in a tower of judgment here or anything like that, because this is stuff that happens to me. Okay. This is how I know this. I didn't read it somewhere. I realize that most people are just doing one activity or two. At most. The people that are actually getting a little bit of momentum happening, they're doing a couple of activities, one or two. They're painting, and maybe they're posting something. They're posting their artwork on some platform online, or they're getting a little exhibit here or there. They're doing two things. They're painting and marketing, right? Whatever marketing is. And marketing usually is one activity for them, for most people. It's like, oh, okay, I painted this. Now I'm going to go put it on Facebook, right? So I asked, what are you doing? Oh, well, I painted that and I posted on Facebook. Cool. Now, you want something to happen for you? You got to stack up activities, multiple activities. This is something that I learned, and it changed the way that I started. I don't know. It changed everything for me. It changed the whole game. It changed my income. It changed the people I started talking to. It changed the value, right? Of how much I generate, not just the income stream, but the value of each artwork. It changed everything the moment I started stacking activities. It's not a singular thing. When people ask me like, what do you do to make a full time as an artist? I'm like, dude, I did 1,000 things, and I had to do many things daily. It's many things, and you have to do them daily. And then as you get better, right? They start becoming, because you get faster, right? You get better, you get faster. That's usually what happens. If you have noticed, right? When you start tying your shoes when you were a little kid, it took you probably half an hour, right? Now it takes you like a second, like boom, you tie your shoe. So that's what happens, right, with activities. So as it starts going like this, right? What happens is that you don't want to stay there. This is a common mistake, right? This is a common mistake. Oh yeah, I'm doing all these activities because this gets you comfort. What you need to do as it starts going like this, you start becoming faster as you're stacking activities. Start stacking more. Put another one in there, and then get better. Put another one in there, and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. You're gonna get to a point. Again, I've talked about this before, guys. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna start delegating. Many of us delegate prematurely. We're like, I can't do multiple activities because I'm too busy creating artwork. No, bullshit. You should be creating artwork and stacking activities. Stacking activities to the point where it gets you out of your comfort zone. It cracks you. It cracks your shell. And it gets you out of your comfort zone. and then you start more activities. And then you're going to realize, you're really going to know whether to delegate or not, or where is the best time to delegate. When should you delegate? Because many of us delegate prematurely. That's why we want an art agent. That's why every artist that I meet, they're like, man, if I had an art agent, if I had a salesperson for me, they know you're squeezing out the activity to someone else. Stebonic says growing pains, totally. Growth isn't comfortable, not at all. Growth is, in any way, right? Growth is extremely uncomfortable because we want to stay comfortable, because we were taught to stay comfortable. Mom and dad and society is like, dude, get the big screen TV. I don't even like having a TV here. The reason I have it is because I have a 10-year-old, but I don't even like having a TV. Because that's what a TV does, right? It makes you comfortable. And now I'm not saying you should work all day, whatever. That's a personal thing, right? But you can only. Sorry, guys. It's because these messages. Some of those messages that pop up on like the Facebook messages, they made me lose my mojo. So yeah, it's a personal thing, right? How much you want to work, how much you want to devote. I don't see work as work. I see life. Like you have to do life, and it's all connected. Like I don't say I'm gonna go work and then I disconnect and then I'm gonna go do my life, my married life, and then disconnect once I finish with that, and then go do my personal life and then disconnect. No, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's all connected. My work, my personal life. My as a son, as a brother, as a father, whatever, right? It's all connected. So I'm not unplugging. Even when I go on vacation, I don't unplug. It doesn't mean I'm working all the time, but I don't unplug. If I need to answer a call or if I need to take care of something, I'll take care of it. It only takes seconds. Right? So I don't know. It's just a personal thing. The third takeaway is do it now. Do it now. Your ability to do things now and jump on them is going to be your game changer. Your inability to do things now is really what has you in the place you're in, whatever that place is that you may not be comfortable or you may not be growing, right? Whatever that place is. You don't have enough gallery shows. You're not selling artwork. You haven't created artwork. Your inability to do things now is really the problem. It's not laziness. It's not lack of focus. It looks that way. It looks that way from afar. But if you go in there and you start not just dissecting it, because that's another form of just overthinking it. You start peeling off, right? The BS. And as you do it, you realize that. Because this is experiential. This is as I'm doing it, I realize, oh, dude, this is not because of laziness. This is not because I don't want to do it. This is because this is a muscle. It's a muscle, right? It's like going to the gym and being like, oh man, yeah, I'm going to lift 200 pounds. No, you're not, dude. If you've never been there, you're barely going to be able to lift the bar. And be okay with lifting the bar. Just the bar. Be okay with that, right? That's what I'm going to do anyways. Until you start stacking more weight. The cool thing about doing business or being in sales or whatever you're doing, right, as an artist, is that you can delegate. You're not lifting that alone, right? You can get to a point where you can start delegating. But again, the mistake or the error many people make is that they try to delegate prematurely. And you should first build some muscle before you start delegating. Stefanik says, you told a story once about what your mom said about work. Tell again, please. Yeah, I mean, my mom talked about work a lot. She was a very hardworking person. She was a very hardworking woman. And she used to say that men were born to if I recall one of the things she said, men were born to work, right? She used to tell me when I was a little kid, look, you see the birds were meant to fly, right? Their wings, right? That's their purpose is flying. Like that's not where they find joy. That is how they were made, right? And men can only find peace in work. Like that's why I say activities, guys, because many times when we think about work, that's why a lot of gurus out there say it's not working hard, it's working smart. And then we're all scratching our heads. What does working smart mean? Oh my God, I need to find the next strategy. No, what they're saying is stand up to the necessity of the moment. right? That's really what it is. It's not about being smart in the sense of I don't know, the next best autoresponder, the best email list and this and that. No. Like that's a given. That'll happen as you put in the time and you put in the effort. What happens is that it's in the work, in the doing, right? That we find out what the next step is. And I remember my mom stressing this on me when I was a little kid. I was like, since I remember, I don't know, I was probably like 7, 8 years old, stressing this on me, like reminding me. She used to sing a lot, so she used to create songs about it and just kind of sing. And I don't know if she was like preparing me to be a workaholic, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think that people that don't produce, right? Our job as human beings is production. People that don't produce, their heart starts, you start feeling pain in your soul, right? Your heart, your soul, your feelings, your emotions, because the greatest, this I heard from one of those big hitters out there. This guy said, the greatest misfortune, right, in humanity is untapped potential for humans. We have this potential, right? And that's why many times we get kind of upset and sometimes even angry at ourselves, right? We're hard on ourselves. We're like, man, I know I should be doing this, but I'm not doing it. I know it's because deep down inside of you, you have this massive potential, like you have the potential. Because everybody has, like what people say, those gifts, right? We all have those gifts. Some people are excellent communicators. Some people are whatever, they create great art. Some people are great singers, dancers, whatever. Whether it was a skill you were born, your DNA kind of thing, or a mixture, right? Something that you use some of the stuff you were born with, which we all do. And then you learn some skills, right? And then boom, it just becomes this massive, strong thing. And we all have it. Every single FM person has it. And that's why we get upset, right? Like, man, I know I should be doing that. I know I should be doing this. I know I shouldn't be getting, if you're in I don't know, whatever industry, in sales or whatever, I know I should be getting paid this. Why am I getting paid this? And that's where we come up with excuses, right? I'm worth so much more. You're right, and you're not, right? Your potential is worth so much more. You at the stage you're at, right? Haven't built a muscle to reach your potential. Like it's like you've been giving this treasure, right? And you don't open it. You don't open it. And that's the thing. That's really it's untapped potential. That's what happens to most of us. We're giving this treasure and we don't open it. We don't utilize it. We don't use it. We're sitting on our currency. Our could that be Shanaz? No way. How's it going, Shanaz? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time, Shanaz. And that's really the thing, that we have this potential and we're sitting on it. And the longer we sit on it, that's why we have to do it. Just do it, right? The longer we sit on it, the more our heart starts shrinking and just compressing. I believe that's where stress and all this other BS that happens to people comes from, right? Because of untapped, not going and reaching into our potential, right? And then just much less exploiting our potential. Hey, Jose, sorry, I'm late. Been off my game. It's all right. It's all right. Good to see you too. Awesome. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Again, now the thing that Nike says, I just want to stress this because I love killing this horse. The thing about Nike is that it sounds cool, right? Just do it. And many people are like, yeah, just do it. But how can I do it right? Dude, don't worry about doing it right. Nike should have, right? Put just effing do it now. Like now doesn't mean today. Now doesn't mean today. Now means right now. That's the hard part. That's really the hard part. It's the challenge. That, oh man, I gotta make a phone call. Now doesn't mean today. Now doesn't mean later. Now doesn't mean, okay, but first I gotta, no. Now means now. It means like right now. And this is I believe, yeah, you can get away with the not having the other ones down, but if you don't have to do it right now, this is where the problems start occurring. That's where the problems arise. You can get away with doing an activity a day, and be comfortable, and then later on add another one or whatever. I believe that your success is really pretty much dictated by the 5 people and the 5 activities that are surrounding you. Like the 5 people that are surrounding you, right? And the 5 people that are closest to you. Whatever that is, whether it's your mom, your spouse, a friend, a colleague, whatever. The 5 people that are around you, these are your center of because we mirror, right? We mirror situations, we mirror people. So if you have a friend who's kind of lazy, blah blah, you're taking some average of that with you. If you have a friend who's saying no most of the time, who's a no sayer instead of a yes sayer, instead of a yes man, you have a no man. You're not applying all of it. You're taking some of that, just a little bit, but you're taking an average. You're the average of the 5 people around you. I know this is hard to swallow, but man, once you start auditing yourself, you start realizing, shit, man, this is very true. It is very true. So you have to start looking into who's around you, who is in your influence, who's in your circle of influence. Now, some people think that that's it. I don't think that that's it. Okay, it's not just the 5 people around you; it's your 5 activities. At least 5 activities a day. Shana says this is so true. At least 5 activities. You shouldn't just be painting. You should be painting. You should be making a video like this. Okay? You should be writing an article. You should be going and knocking on a door. You should be picking up the phone. And it should be an established activity. It should be like, today I did that at noon, right? At least to start out with. Then you find out how to do it on demand, right? Tomorrow at noon, boom, another video. Tomorrow at noon, boom, another video. Tomorrow at 1, another phone call. Even if you start with 1. Most of us get overwhelmed, that's why. This is my takeaway Friday, guys. Like, if I tell someone, look, this is how you get a gallery show, they're like, no way, right? Because I usually say, dude, go talk to 100 galleries, right? If your sales pitch is horrible, 10 people will listen to you, right? If it's horrible. First, you have to visit probably like 1,000. I don't know. No, that does not make it so difficult. Yeah. You go and you knock on 100 doors of galleries, right? Now we have phones too, but if you can, go knock on a door. You'll get 100, right? 100 galleries. Write them down, whatever. Don't write it down, please. Just go, right? 10 will talk to you. 90 of them will be like, no, get out of here. They're rescheduled, whatever. Right? 10 will talk to you. And if your pitch is horrible, at least two of those 100 that you visited will say, sure, let's do a show. Why not? What the hell? Bring one of your pieces. Let's hang it. Right? That's how you get gallery shows. Like, if there's so many different ways of doing it out there, but if you want a surefire, no BS, kicking the pants way of doing it, that's how you do it. So when I tell people this, they're like, no way, that's how anything happens. That's how anything happens, It's not a clever thing. It's work. And if you don't do it now, and if you don't implement, it doesn't become an activity. Like, that's why people get upset. They're like, man, like, I'm not going to go to talk to 100. Okay, well, you don't have the muscle. I understand, right? That's how it happens, right? And it's like me saying, I can't lift 200 pounds. No, I don't have the muscle, right? Start with a bar here. Just once. Don't do 5 repetitions. Just do 1. Boom. All right, that's it. And that's how that happens. Just visit 1 gallery. You don't have to visit 100. No way. Just visit 1, right? And then add another one. And then, you did that one? Okay, add another one. And anyways, I just gave you guys the whole thing here in this last minute. And also, you will not get quality without quantity. So you got to get frequent about it. Anyways, that's my takeaway, guys. Okay, simple activities, not activity, activities. Okay, daily, and jump on it now. Take care, guys. Much love. and success. You guys deserve it. Everybody's got that je ne sais quoi. Go use it. Go exploit it. Show the world what you're made of. I got to get back to some activities. Take care. Adios.